All right, everybody, it looks like it's finally possible that Sonic Adventure remakes could actually be happening. Now, it's not exclusive to Sonic Adventure. Of course, this could be several other Sonic games. There's a lot of Sonic games that are quote-unquote stuck in the past or stuck on previous hardware that a lot of fans would like to see come back. A lot of people have talked about a Sonic Heroes remaster, although I'm not sure if that's the one in particular that needs to come to next-gen consoles, but it definitely is a candidate and it's certainly possible. But guys, before we get into all this crazy news, please subscribe to the channel right now. I'll give you a second to do that. And hopefully you guys smash notifications. So, Sonic Adventure remakes and remasters have been talked about. They've been teased for the last, probably 2 to 3 years, ever since I even started getting into making Sonic content. Now, we're gonna need some context and backstory to why people even think this is possible. Let me explain. So, this theory starts all the way back in April 3rd, 2021. Actually, I think this happened beforehand, but Zippo, who is an infamous leaker within the Sonic community, he's hit on some big thing. He's also been wrong about other things, so keep that in mind. He said that, yes, there were Sonic Adventure remakes in April 3rd, 2021. He says none of this that follows is speculation, and Sega was developing Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 remakes meant for a 2015 release for PS4, Xbox One, and Wii U. These remakes were supposed to have full rearranged music. It was going to be something like the Crash Bandicoot remakes or remasters, whatever you want to call them. I guess you would call them remakes, but eventually Sega pulled the plugs on these. So we're talking about 2015. Now, think of the state of the Sonic franchise back then. They were not really in the market to take risk or anything like that. Sonic Boom just came out. It was a massive flop. Sonic Lost World was a flop. The Sonic franchise was in a bad state in 2015. It only got worse in 2017 when Forces came out. So these remakes for Adventure were initially axed. But what has happened since? Obviously, we know that the movies came out. Sonic Frontiers was a success. Sonic Prime came out. There's a lot of great things coming out with the Sonic franchise. Sonic Superstars is happening. And Zippo was the first one to plant the seed of a new 2D Sonic game in our heads. So like I said, I don't know if I trust him 100% because leaks ultimately can be true, they can be false, they can be speculation, but he's definitely hit on some things. So he was saying back in the day that Adventure remakes were canceled. Now, what happened last year with respect to Sonic remakes and remasters? Well, let's roll the clip because I actually talked about this.
You might be getting new Sonic remasters or remakes, and here's what you need to know. So in a press release, Sega said they're trying to leverage past IPs with more remakes and remasters, and they specifically mentioned Sonic by name. So it looks like this might be happening within the next 2 years by 2024. So which Sonic games would you want to see remastered? I already know I want Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 on the Switch. There's more evidence of Sonic remasters coming soon, and here's what you need to know. So in fiscal year 2022, Sonic game sales are up 30%. The franchise is in a really good spot right now, and previously last year, Sonic Team said that if games are selling well, that they're going to explore more future remasters. So not only did they say recently they want to remaster games, they now have the sales to back it up. So it looks like some remasters will be coming soon. Which Sonic games do you guys want to see remastered? Let me know down below in the comments, and share this with one friend so we're...
So now you have the context and you had the backstory. So Adventure 1 and 2 remakes were teased like 2 years ago, or at least people were making rumors about them and leaks and stuff like that. Last year, Sega said if Sonic is selling well, they will explore remakes and reboots. In addition to that, Sonic Frontiers is now the highest selling 3D Sonic game of all time. So it's safe to say all of the required metrics for what it would take for Sonic Adventure or any remakes and reboots in general to resurface have been met. So all the requirements are there. Now, why is everyone saying that we're going to get Adventure 1 and 2 remakes? Well, we have new developments from Sega. So let me read this for you. You guys look right here. It says Sega president and COO has said that in a recent interview, he'd like to see remakes and reboots of classic Sega IP games, pointing specifically to the Sonic the Hedgehog series. So let's take a further look. Sega of Japan's president said a number of reboots and remakes of classic games IP could be on the way, specifically mentioning the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. In a new interview, the Sega exec shared his delight at the worldwide success of the Sonic IP over the last fiscal year, pointing to the warm fan reception and sales success of Sonic Frontiers, along with the monstrous box office smash that was Paramount's Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie. He says, that makes me happy, and I was also happy to receive a lot of messages, mainly from users in North America, such as, I'm happy that Sonic is heading in the right direction. While discussing Samba de Amigo Party Central, a new game in a Sonic Team series recently brought back from the dead, he noted that he is interested in exploring reboots and even reboot-like features within new games. He referenced the upcoming Sonic Superstars as an example to his point, a return to 2D action. Although it is a new game, I want to implement reboot-like measures as well. And he added that full-on reboots and remakes will be considered when plotting out future plans for each IP, especially especially Sonic. He says, of course, we have to do new things, but as with all IPs, we don't have new works or reboots. He says, we will develop while selecting which is appropriate at this timing for each IP, such as this is the best way to do this IP. Sonic is also Sega's signature IP, and in parallel with the new game, we are considering reboots and remakes. This is also something else that I don't think is true, but listen, it's certainly possible. Sonic Stadium says, seeing as a large chunk of the Sonic Twitter fan base is already fantasizing over Sonic Heroes Remaster, it's fair to say that this proposal wouldn't be unwelcome within the broader Sonic community. Many of his past works can no longer be purchased or accessed on modern hardware. By the way, for those of you who didn't know, a lot of people are saying on Twitter that there's a Sonic Heroes Remaster that could be potentially coming because of a clip in a Tales tube. I personally don't see this as evidence at all or any indication. Honestly, there's no evidence that any specific game is going to come, but there's certainly evidence that Sega is interested and every metric that they needed to be met has been met. Oh, with that being said, Sonic Adventure Remakes and maybe Sonic Heroes, maybe Sonic Unleashed Port, like all of these seem to be like on the table, right? I would say like, I mean, within the next 5 to 10 years, there's going to be a new generation of Nintendo consoles. There's probably going to be a PS6 and an Xbox, whatever, within the next 5 to 10 years. So with that being said, is it unreasonable to expect that they're going to bring back older Sonic games to newer hardware, especially when it's not available, especially as Sonic's popularity might rise with movie 3 coming out? 2024 is still going to be a big year. 2022 is a big year. 23 was a big year. 24 is a big year. So out of all these games, I think it's definitely reasonable to expect this. Now, a lot of people are a little bit concerned. You'll see the concern on Twitter that this may not be a good thing. It seems like a lot of people are already talking about this on Twitter. We have a tweet from Games Cage Fidel. He says that Adventure 1 and 2 remakes are 100% happening. This person says if we get an Adventure remakes, I'm 90% sure they'll be worse than the original. So there's some concern that Sonic Team may mess this up. So that's a whole nother argument, a whole nother discussion. But a lot of people are basically saying that Adventure 1 and 2 remakes are definitely going to be on the horizon. This person says Adventure remakes will happen. So basically the whole fan base is talking about this. I'm surprised no one on YouTube has already talked about this. I figured I would talk about it, but it's certainly on the table. Sonic Team certainly has all the success and measures to make this happen. They're expanding, they're hiring, they're increasing the budget for future Sonic games. It just seems like the IP is definitely heading in a positive direction. The games that could get remastered, I think they would need to play it safe for this. Like Sonic Heroes is a little bit risky because it's a very divisive game. I think some of the least divisive games in the series is probably Adventure 1 and Adventure 2 in particular. These not only appeal to core Sonic fans, but also people who have played Sonic in the past, people who are casuals. Like everyone knows Sonic Adventure 2, you know what I mean? It's the highest rated 3D Sonic game. I feel like if you're gonna go for a remake or remaster, I feel like you start with those games. Assuming that Sonic Team can competently make this game, those are the games you probably go for. I think Sonic Unleashed is definitely a candidate as well, although I just feel like Adventure 1 and Adventure 2 are more highly esteemed and respected, so I feel like those are the ones you might want to go for. An Unleashed port definitely works for Steam, I think. I think Sonic Heroes, again, a little bit more divisive. I would say the least divisive games in the franchise are probably the classics, Adventure 1 and 2, and probably Generations. So those are the games that are the most safe, and the least accessible ones would probably be, I guess, the adventure games or Heroes. So I don't know, guys. You guys let me know which games you guys think are going to come. Do you think they're actually going to do remakes and remasters based off of all this evidence? Let me know down below in the comments. I got nothing else to say to you guys. I hope we get SA 1 and 2 remakes because that's my favorite games of all time, but I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.